pleasure, the very keynote topic for today, looking forward in the digital world with a disruptive mindset. And to put some light on this topic, I shall now invite on stage Mr. Rityunjay Mahapatra, Member, Board of Directors and Chairman, Finance and Audit Committee, Spice Money, to please come on stage. Can we have a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Rityunjay Mahapatra?
So, thank you. The first disruption has already happened. Somebody told, I'm a member of some board of director of Spice Money or something like that. Because of the digital nature of things today, nobody cares to believe that there is something which is required to be done with sheer hard work. First disruption for all of you. The second one is that what Economist told in its latest issue. For last 75 or 80 years, the world is being defined by US of A. But today, we are looking at a world which will be defined by that nation itself. So in the next 10 minutes or 12 minutes, what we will try to do is that what is defining this world? And in my experience of sitting in over a dozen boards and leading very large organizations, what I am seeing in this world. The first important thing that all of us have to understand is that you will have to disrupt somebody to make your business model work. It is no more important to be doing more of the same thing which is working for everybody else. Today, look at what is happening in the world or what is happening in our country. The government itself is trying 4 or 6 or 8 solutions before giving something to the general ecosystem. Okay, so I'll quickly finish it in that case, is that, what is the writing on the wall? What will happen in 2023 will probably define the attitude and approach that all of us have to adopt. The first thing is that systems are moving. I think one of the panel discussions was hovering around how the personal touch and the personal hyper-personalization is coming. Systems are getting digitally immune because a large dose of or overdose of digital has come to this world. So that is why systems are getting digitally immune. Now it has to be shaken up with new doses of phygital or hybrid modes. Second thing that is happening is that all the data colonizers of the world, the Amazons and Googles of the world, have taken your data and are creating insights. Now the system is fighting back. The disruption is happening. So observable AI, in the sense that whether AI is based on coarser data, is back in the system. AI by default or the attitude of human beings to induct artificial intelligence into almost everything is in. Again, there was another very nice article in Economist. If you want, you can read it. That cloud from public cloud, it is traveling towards industry cloud. How we deal with it. And of course, platforms continue to stay, especially community platforms are in, and the realization of value of the wireless with the 5G is in. So these are all important and critical disruptive factors that are playing out in the market. Now, what we will have to do is that a mindset which is disruptive or trying to take your organization or yourself into the next generation is that there are just about 8 or 10 in my view, because as Bertrand Russell told, the next generation will not be a generation of interest, will be a generation of ideas. So as we think more and more about it, these are my ideas. Probably you'll not get an exact footprint of it anywhere else. But as I told you, when I hear other directors, CEOs, and companies that I advise, I get this feeling, which is probably will be useful to all of you. First thing is that companies after companies will be investing in disrupting the disruptor. Meeting the disruptor is out. 5 years back, a State Bank of India or an HDFC Bank was trying to understand what a Paytm was doing. Today, probably, they will be dipping into their pockets to find out money to unleash technology to stop them on their tracks. And it is quite fair. This is the new way. You will have to continuously deploy technology to track your competition and provide counter-competitive strategy to meet such competition. Second important thing, everything should be at industrial scale by default. I am one of the, one of the key mentors in RBI of the fintech ecosystem. Most of these people are solving for small problems, are trying to only cater to the retail or the individual, whereas there is large amount of problems that are waiting to be solved. Because of the connected ecosystem, if you wish to be a success, you must disrupt this thought process and try and get to industrial and scale right at the design stage. It's not that if I get a good response, because you do not know where your scale will be an impeder of your growth. If somebody else is using your technology and it is hitting, let us say, State Bank of India's ecosystem where 24,000 transactions or 26,000 transactions are done per second, if your thing is not done up to the scale, then it will fail. So you must disrupt your own thinking of being incremental, of bringing things one by one, or scaling up if required. That has to be stopped. Third important thing is that incumbents, I think somebody told, but incumbent has become an aggregation of many moving parts. Today's incumbent may be tomorrow's follower or day after tomorrow's leader. So continuously deploying analytics, deploying technology to find out who is the incumbent, doing social media analytics to find out what are the strategies of the incumbent and challenging that incumbent will be the key to your survival. Next important thing is that things have to be done frugally. How can you solve for doing things where 100 rupees is required in 10 rupees? Frugality is one of the problems And those who succeed in frugality will disrupt the whole world. Because it is easy to say in the agile method, they say that, fail fast to move fast. Fine. But what is the cost of that failure? Today in the ecosystem, majority of the banks are unable to transform, majority of the NBFCs are unable to transform because they have not paid the technology debt. Last year only, I spent 100 crores to build this nice people, process, technology and governance. This year you are coming, I am on the board, you are telling that that is no good. So I am only myself a little scared to go to the boards to tell them that no, I want to change it. So if you want to fail fast, if you want to be relevant in the modern world, frugality will be the mantra. Next important thing is that, because everybody else is being educated in the internet, everybody else is being approached by 20 competitors. It is not your product excellence which will survive. It is your advising and solutioning experience or solutioning expertise. How can you deploy technology, deploy digital, deploy used cases, deploy artificial intelligence to solve for this? That will remain the differentiator, and unless you disrupt your way of working by substituting the new normal, which is that how do you make money out of advising and solutioning rather than making products. Next important thing is that cloning or doing more of the same thing that's successful. I told right at the beginning that United States of America, whatever, even if they celebrate Valentine Day, because everybody wants to clone success. If I am a successful person, the way I dress and way I put my pocket square in my pocket will be cloned by people who are following me. Because they believe by doing that, probably they will be one step closer to success. That is unlikely to work. Platforms' originality in the coming days will be very, very important. And of course, two other things that I want to leave your thoughts is that risk will be important. Everybody will speak, oh, cyber, oh, this, that. But what is the disruption in risk management? Risk management, how more you can make it invisible. Because if let us say that you are working on your mobile banking. If I put 20 validations, obviously it will be very, very secure. But who will, user experience is completely compromised. High levels of security is inversely proportional to the level of customer experience. That means, how can you put technology, this SecTech, RegTech, and SupTech, as we call it, security technology, regulatory technology, and supervisory technology, all of these will require all of you to think of making security, making privacy, making your own individual hyper-personalization mandatory. But if you can do it invisibly, you are good. If you are creating friction, you will be rejected. So, the tools are all well known. But only thing is that it is like, in some hotels we go, oh, acha banata hai wo butter chicken masala. He also uses the same adrak, lasan, piyaj and cream, or it is how you make the recipe, when to put what in what quantity and how much temperature. I have a friend who makes coffee and he has a temperature because he believes, and he has read somewhere, and it's so true, that coffee only when it is served between 65 and 75 degrees of temperature that it tastes the best. So how do we not just smell the coffee, but serve it at the right temperature, in the right container, befitting the one who is going to drink it? All these are well known. I am not going to spend some time. I just wanted to let you know that these are all there. The disruptive mindset will disrupt with taking the right blend, mixing them at the right time, and taking to the customer. Thank you very much.